Hare Krishna. Very loud. I can hardly speak. I can only just speak so it makes me loud. Yes. Hare Krishna. I can ask a devotee to chant mantra which is on the board. My voice is almost gone. I'll take this off. Who's going to chant it? Om Namo. I can start with Om Namo Bhagavate.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Srijami tapasvai vedam.
Srijami tapasvai vedam.
Drishami tapasha punaha.
Drishami tapasha punaha.
Vibhrami tapasha vishwam.
Vibhrami tapasha vishwam.
Viryam me dushcharam tapaha.
Viryam me dushcharam tapaha.
Srijami tapasvai vedam.
Srijami tapasvai vedam.
Drishami tapasha punaha.
Drishami tapasha punaha.
Vibhrami tapasa vishwam.
Vibhrami tapasa vishwam.
Viryam me dushcharam tapaha.
Viryam me dushcharam tapaha.
Srijami tapasya vedam.
Srijami tapasya vedam.
Drishami tapasa punaha.
Drishami tapasa punaha.
Vibhrami tapasa vishwam.
Vibhrami tapasa vishwam.
Viryam me dushcharam tapaha.
Viryam me dushcharam tapaha.
Srijami tapase vedam.
Srijami tapase vedam.
Srijami tapasa punah.
Srijami tapasa punaha.
Vibhrami tapasa vishwam.
Vibhrami tapasa vishwam.
Viryame dushcharam tapah.
Viryam me dushcharam tapaha.
Srijami tapasai vedam.
Srijami tapasai vedam.
Drishami tapasha punah.
Drishami tapasa punaha.
Vibhrami tapasha vishwam.
Vibhrami tapasa vishwam.
Viryam me dushcharam tapah.
Viryam me dushcharam tapaha.
Srijami tapase vedam.
Srijami tapase vedam.
Sami tapasa punaha.
Drishami tapasa punaha.
Vibhrami tapasa vishwam.
Vibhrami tapasa vishwam.
Viryam me dushcharam tapaha.
Viryam me dushcharam tapaha.
Mataji.
Srijami tapasya vedam.
Srijami tapase vedam.
Sami tapasa punah.
Drishami tapasa punaha.
Tapasa vishwam.
Vibhrami tapasa vishwam.
Dushcharam tapah.
Viryam me dushcharam tapaha. Srijami tapase vedam.
Word to word and translation. Will you read that? Shall I read?
Drishami tapasa punaha. Vibhrami tapasa vishwam.
Read the word for word. See how I do with the translation.
Viryam me dushcharam tapaha. Srijami tapase vedam. Drishami tapasa punaha. Vibhrami tapasa vishwam. Viryam me dushcharam tapaha.
Word to word translation. Srijami.
Srijami.
I create.
I create.
Tapasa.
Tapasa.
By the same energy
By the same energy
of penance.
of penance.
Eva.
Eva.
Certainly. idam this grishami tapasa I do withdraw also by the same energy punaha again vibhrami to maintain tapasa by penance vishwam the cosmos viryam potency me my dushcharam severe tapaha penance. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace K.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki
Hare Krishna. So, I'll do my best. We've been coming here on and off almost 30 years now. We started, first time I came was in the 90s. And let's see, I don't recognize anybody. Mostly with brahmacharis. But there was no Govardhanika village. There was no Kolhapur. Other places, no Jhansi. Rotational temple presidents, Gauranga, Sanat Kumar, Shyamananda, Radha Gopinath. I don't see any of them. Where have they gone? What happened to them? No, we just saw Sanak and Gauranga to another village. That's Krishnananda. Shastak, and he did all this. Gopal may be here. Is he here? Gopal? No. Room. Everyone's in their room. Radha Krishna Prabhu and his wife. They're here? Room. And a few others. Today is Ekadashi, is that right?
Yes.
Someone playing music in the background. And a music recital just now. Can you keep the music till afterwards? If you can. Unless we ask you to do it. Of the day we're reading. I'm sorry if we're reading out of line. I don't know where you're reading from. Where are you reading from? Normally.
Same.
Which verse?
Third canto.
Huh?
Third canto.
Where?
13th chapter.
Third canto. 13th chapter. So you're going to have to put me online. Oh, not too far. You're going to have to put the computer online. How are you going to do that? You have to try to connect this computer to the screen. I'm going to try to make it easier for you and me. Because the sound is very expert. Who's the sound man? I want to congratulate them. Who are they? You? Congratulations. At least you're not in your room. No, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to hear a word. Maybe you can't hear a word anyway. Can anybody hear? Can you hear? Sure. Okay. It's a miracle because I can barely make a sound from the mouth. Is it there? Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't get it in a very good format. I'll increase the size if I can. Don't know if we can do it from here. Oh, we can. It's not bad. Go down a little bit. There we go. Can you see it? Can Can you see it? This is a verse. We're going back to the second canto. So I apologize for speaking out of order. I don't know what to do. I thought today is a Kaddish. And I know that here in Chowpatty, you all fast all day long. You don't eat, you don't even drink water. Right? You stay up all night long. Right? All night chanting. Right? 108 rounds. Is that right? No. Right, dear me. Well, let's see. If you want to create the cosmos, if you want to become a Brahma, you better start doing some penance. Now there's something much greater than even creating a universe. Hear about that. Well, this is the Lord speaking to Brahma. Or is it no? Brahma speaking. Who's speaking? I don't know. Does it say here? Huh? Brahma? I can't remember. My memory is gone. Somebody's speaking to someone. It's what they speak is what counts. Sure, we'll find it eventually. Anyway, somebody can look it up.
Lord is saying to them.
I think it's the Lord, as I said in the beginning. Krishna speaking to Lord Brahma. Huh?
Lord is saying to Brahma.
Yeah, exactly. So a very important point. Om Jnana Timarandasya Gnanjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitanamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Navistam Apitam Yena Bhutale Shvayam Rupakadalayam Vidati Shva Patanti Kam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Shwaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Vacharani Nirvisesha Sannivadi Paschachadeshatani Vanchakalpa Trubhischa Kripa Sindhu Devacha Pachitanam Pavanevu Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. You can do better than that. One more time. Come on. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Chowpatty is famous for its loud chanting. Loud chanting the holy name. Is that right? I think worldwide famous. Keep it up. Don't desist. So we're reading text number 24 of the second canto, chapter 9. The title of the chapter is Answers by Citing the Lord's Version. Pretty good, isn't it? Get the answers from the Lord himself. Can't be better. In this chapter we find the key to the Bhagavatam in one sense, both in the approach of Lord Brahma and in the response of Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu. How does he respond? With what we know as the 4 seed verses. Seed verses, huh? When we say seed, from the seed comes the grows, fructifies, the plant grows. Then fruits come. So these 4 seed verses come later in this chapter. We won't touch them today. Can you hear? Yes. At the back, can you hear? We like to thank the sound technician over there. Thank you. Yes, give him a good round of applause. When Bhagavatam was spoken, there were no microphones. Can you imagine? Even Sukadeva Goswami or Sutta Goswami or anyone else come to that, who is speaking to an audience, the Bhagavatam, one may wonder how on earth they could be heard. It's stated that in Naimishranya, where Sutta Goswami was speaking the Bhagavatam to the sages, there were 88,000 of them. 88,000. Can you imagine? No microphones, no loudspeakers, they didn't have things in their ears, no mobile phones. That's one of the reasons they could hear. Best way to not hear is to constantly be on your mobile. Good hearing Krishna Kirtan, it's okay. Text messaging during class. No, oh no. Anyway, why? Because the atmosphere was pure. Sound vibration could pass through without any impediment. There was no electromagnetic waves. There were no mobile things going on. Everyone's mind was attentive. They were like sucking up sound, drawing the sound out. We have to become like that. Eager beavers to get that transcendental sound vibration of Bhagavatam, the holy name. Digest deeply. Oral reception, hear carefully. And then it will automatically act. Like autumnal rains on the muddy state of our consciousness, purifying us. Because the world is very contaminated. I'm sure many of you, I'm sure not all of you also, many of you are keeping contact with the world events, especially if you've got relatives in Dubai or somewhere. Occupies our space, our consciousness. We have to be careful not to go overboard. You have to have a little knowledge, but not too much. So let's read. There's a form of penance when we don't go too far down there. Here the Lord says, I create this cosmos by such penance. We'll be hearing more about that penance later on. I create this cosmos by such penance. Jai Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Ki Jai. Srinath Ji. Mahaprabhu. Very interesting subject today. We're going to try to speak a few words about penance. I create this cosmos by such penance. I maintain it by the same energy. And I withdraw it by the same energy. Therefore, the potent power is penance only. Do you know this word, penance? Is it familiar? It's not used very often. You've heard of who knows this word, penance?
I knew the word penance.
Pardon?
I knew this word penance. I knew this word penance.
Use what?
I knew this word.
He know the word. He knew the word.
You know the word. Good. What does it mean?
Any particular, if you knowingly or unknowingly, if you committed some sin or some activities which doesn't please someone, or so you got to feel bad from your heart, and then you got to repent And this is a sort of repentance.
That's one aspect, actually. It's interesting you say that. We're mentioning that at the end. This is a key factor, but it's not a beginning factor. It has many aspects, this word penance. The word for word, you'll see, where is it here? You'll see the word tapa mentioned a few times, I think. 4 times in the verse. And it's accompanied by other words, so it means different things, but energy and so penance and so on. But the last word of the verse, tapaha. Tapaha is the Sanskrit word. Tapaha. Tapa. Tapa. This word, dual word. Sometimes the word pa in the Prabhupada goes into all description as it goes. Pa, 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 pa. You know, I can't remember it all. Probably scholars here can remember it all. It means literally hard work. It's not easy. You don't want to do it almost. That's one angle. There's other angles, by the way. And that to perform, to undergo, to execute, tapa. So that's penance. Sometimes it's translated austerity. You may be more familiar with austerity. Are you familiar with that word?
Yes.
So penance is not very often used, although the English language, when they have what's called the penal codes. You've heard of that? Penal codes. Legal codes. Punishment. Isn't it? Punishment. So, I don't know your name, Prabhu, but he's mentioned a very good point about this feeling, is that the English word, although not properly executed, is actually repent. Repentance. A burning feeling within your heart. We'll start with it since you've started. I'll give an example. When Parikshit Maharaj was touring the world, he was, by the arrangement of Krishna, he became overwhelmed by thirst. Talking about thirst. Parikshit Maharaj just reminded me. I've got to drink more water. He went into a cave. A very strange pastime. It doesn't seem to fit, does it? Parikshit Maharaj, you know, pure devotee, Vajarishi. He went to a cave. There was Kaushik Rishi meditating in the cave, absorbed in samadhi practically, completely oblivious, unaware of what's going on in the external world. Parikshit Maharaj came in, hoping he would get received. And hopefully get some water. The sage did not reciprocate. Parikshit Maharaj became overwhelmed with anger. Of course, nobody here has ever become angry. Have you? Why is silence? Does that mean no one gets angry? When we don't get what we want, do you get angry?
Yes.
Sometimes. If we're not very Krishna conscious, we do. So he became angry. What did he do? He picked up a dead snake. He saw one dead snake there lying in the cave, and he put it around the sage's neck. What an insult, isn't it? What do you think? Not nice, huh? Why what is this? It's a sage. And then in angry mood he left the cave and went away back to his kingdom. I guess an old story, we're not going to get into it. But on the way back, he started to reflect on what just happened. Momentarily, it's like Krishna bewildered him. He wasn't like an ordinary living being. Krishna had a plan. But on the way back, Prabhupada describes this word, using the word tapa, but it's actually anutapa. Anutap. Tapa also means heat, heat. Fire, heat. Intense heat. Tapa. He felt a burning sensation within his heart. Oh my God, what have I done? Why did I do that? Have you ever had that feeling?
Yes.
You say something nasty to somebody, right? You criticize them, you chastise them unrightfully or whatever. Even rightfully we may feel sometimes like that. Or you do something wrong and you realize it, especially if you try to justify yourself. And then, if you're lucky, you start feeling repentant. Oh my God, why did I do that? What a stupid thing to do, what a nonsense I am. I'm such an offender. You ever had that feeling? This is anutapa. A sincere soul, Prabhupada says, will feel like that, something like that. You'll regret it, and you won't go around trying to justify yourself. As we know, for instance, from the story of Haridas Thakur, when Gopal Chakravarti insulted him, Haridas forgave him. Haridas forgave him completely. But still Gopal had to suffer intense leprosy and so on. Horrible pain. Later on he got relieved, but it took a long time. Lord Chaitanya even wouldn't forgive him. And the reason is explained particularly. Nowadays we have this dangerous tool called social media in its many forms. You've heard of social media? You know the word? Social media? Everybody's heard of social media. Even a 2-year-old child has heard of it. Practically. You can't live without their mobiles. And when you put something on there, don't think it stops at that. It can go out to millions and millions of people. Isn't it? Sometimes. Is that right? Yes?
Yes, yes.
And if you do so, say something, write something on there which is offensive, which is in any way, hurt to anyone, you can't just go to that person and say sorry. If you're humble enough. You have to say sorry to the same forum that you criticized or hurt that person. The same form, and humbly bow down to everyone, beg their forgiveness, so to speak. Not easy, eh? Not easy. But anyway, that's anutapa. That's what purifies our hearts, frees us from this tendency of fault-finding, seeing ourselves in the center. Let's read on. Purport. In executing penance, one must be determined. So we're looking at a Krishna conscious angle now. Not just people may perform penance for political reasons, isn't it? It's common in India, right? Politicians fast. They go on some walk or something. They do something. People do some kind of penance, passion, in the mode of passion. Some people are in the mode of ignorance, like, what was his name? Vrikasura. Cutting off his flesh. Om Namo Shivaya. Or maybe in the mode of goodness you do some yajna for world peace or something. I'm fasting for peace. Or rain or something or another. But poor people, some kind of penance you undergo. Do some sacrifice of some kind. This is different. This is the proper purpose of penance. In executing penance, one must be determined to return home, not just to your house in, what's it called? I know where we are, somewhere in Bombay. Thane, maybe you live in Thane. Thane? Is that a suburb? Thane. I can't remember all these suburbs. Bandra? New house in Bandra. I gotta go home. He just told me I have to be determined to go home. And Baba says, back to Godhead. Not Bandra or Thane or Jew, or wherever you go to the temple of Jew. And must decide, is their choice, this is where the free will of the living entity. We have our karma, so be it. It is what it is. And must decide to undergo all types of tribulations for that end, to go back to Godhead. For material things, we work so hard sometimes, don't we? What do you think? Do we? Maybe you don't. You're intelligent. But most people work hard to get money, to fulfill their sensual desires, to keep the family together, to pay the mortgage. Isn't it? It's a penance. It's a mode of passion and ignorance, but none of that. Prabhupada says even for material prosperity, name and fame, one has to undergo severe types of penance. You go to college for 6 years, studying. Studying, passing exams, looking for a job, working 8 hours. And if you work in Mumbai, sometimes it can take you ages to get to work. Took us 2 hours just getting into Bombay yesterday. That's before we got in, just the entrance to Bombay on the highway was so choked up. Once we got into Bombay, it wasn't so bad, but if you live out there, it's terrible. Packed up in a train or something like a sardine in a can. Isn't it hanging all? I don't know what it's like now. Oh my God, some of those trains 50 years ago were unbelievable. I don't know what they're like now. Huh? No way. The people are hanging on the outside, sitting on the roof. They stopped it. They used to sit on the roof. Bend your head down when there's a bridge coming. You can't get out when you want to get out, Get in. I remember being once I had like 3 suitcases. It was unbelievable. When the bomb was over there in the sky, when I was holding it, it was above everyone up there. One was somewhere in the feet, and it was between my legs. Getting out of that train was unbearable. What a penance. That's not what we're meant to do. We're meant to perform penance to go back to Godhead, right? Austerity. We hear about what is that austerity. Even from Mohammed. Otherwise, Prabhupada says here, otherwise No one can become an important figure in this world. Even materially, people who perform, they may have been in previous life, this life, whatever, perform penances. It's otherwise no one. Why then would there not be severe types of penance for the perfection of devotional service? Doesn't sound very attractive. Now you can become a meditator, a yogi. You can go to the Himalayas, sit underneath the water of the Ganga in the winter, freezing cold, stop breathing, no breathing, meditating. In the summer you light fires so it becomes burning hot, no eating, no sleeping, meditating. Pretty intense. You see them paintings. We have a painting in our Bhagavad-gita, this scrawny looking meditator, matted locks and things growing on him. Hiranyakasipu, like that. We don't have to do that. Many people think of penance, austerity in spiritual life as something like that. Of course, I know today you're all fasting entirely. There's no prasad. No prasad? No prasad today? We used to look for, when I joined the movement in early 72, we used to look forward very much to Ekadashi. Ekadashi was our favorite day. Prabhupada said, fasting means feasting. We would have an amazing feast on Ekadashi. It was lighter than usual, you know. There would be halava, but it wouldn't be with suji. It'd be like potato halava, carrot halava, like that, you know. And instead of sweet rice, it'd be made with sago or something, which is not grain, you know. Delicious, creamy, all kinds of sweets. 6 vegetable preparations. Yeah. Chutney. Yeah. Pakoras made with non-grain, Kadashi flour. Pur is made with a Kadashi flour. Everything there. Feast. A Kadashi feast is it. Well, you don't have to do that. But they attract them. Why? What's the real Prabhupada said here? Go back to Godhead. The real attraction, to become attracted to Krishna. What's the use of austerity if we don't become attracted to Krishna? What's the use? You're no use. Get some mystic power. You want to walk on the water? Fly in the sky? Bring a mango from Afghanistan. You have mangoes here. No, a pomegranate, probably. Pomegranate from Afghanistan. Now the mango season, I think, in South India is starting. You can bring a mango from Tamil Nadu right here now. Whoa! Perfection of life. People are so stupid, they think this is so important, insignificant people. Claiming to be God, this, that, the other. They do a little bit of penance, they've got some good karma to become a king or a big businessman. You must have done some penance. Then Prabhupada goes and said, and these are very important lines. An easygoing life, an attainment of perfection in transcendental realization cannot go together. Try to digest this. Easygoing life. What's an easygoing life mean? What's an easygoing life? I mean, what does it mean? Here's a man who can tell us the answer for that. What's an easygoing life? Maybe he doesn't know the term. Easygoing life. He's from France. He's going out, as some of you know him. He lives with an eco village. Maybe he was here for a while, I don't know. He's from Portugal. I'm from England, if you didn't get caught on to it. So it's an easygoing life. Come on, somebody.
Do whatever you feel like doing.
Just take it as it comes. Huh?
Sleep.
Sleep. Sleep. Sleep. Just take it as it comes, you see. Do what you like. You don't know detail this work. Lazy. Just lazy life. Sitting around. Talking about the cricket. If you're a man, an Indian body. Politics. Doing nothing, just talking about it. Playing some game. Wasting your time. Nothing productive, even materially. Do the least you can. Lazy fella. Lazy. I hope none of you are lazy fellas or lazy felloweens. No, I don't know, lady felloweens, no, ladies. Hope you're not lazy. Laziness is a very sin, actually, very bad. We won't time is not now. We tell a funny story about the lazy men. We have no time. So this easygoing life, an attainment of perfection. So you come to Krishna consciousness movement, and you just come for the prasada. This is one of the examples. Maybe you like the kirtan, depending on who's leading and what tune it is, which boys and girls happen to be there at the time. Those you don't want to, or if you're allowed to play your djembe or something, otherwise you leave. Type of self-centered enjoying mentality. No, we should come to the temple to perform penance. Who can think of a penance that we can do when we come to the temple? What can you do? Think of a penance.
Hear attentively.
Well, that's the best, probably the best one, isn't it? To hear attentively, that's not an easy one. But to hear attentively, of course, we mean in terms of Krishna Katha. We don't mean you're outside. In many temples during class, there's like 5 devotees in the temple, 500 outside. All gossiping. And then maybe some come in for the arati, and they all go for prasadam. More than 500, 500 turn up. 1,000. No, to hear attentively, this is the penance, the purpose of the temple. Baba says to provide this atmosphere for hearing and chanting about Krishna. You have to try to hear attentively. What other penance can you perform when you come to the temple? It would be anywhere, of course, but particularly coming to the temple. Anything else? I can give one. Turn off your mobile. I think you've all turned them off. They're familiar with that one here. In many temples they're not. What else?
Don't sleep.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. You say go to sleep.
Don't sleep.
Don't sleep. I say go to sleep. Well, if you're causing trouble, that would be a penance. Better you go to sleep. If you're noisy. Yeah, don't sleep. Don't sleep. It's a penance. What else? Huh? What do you say?
Seva.
Yeah, come with a submissive heart. This is the secret of penance. Submission. There's penance in different moods and modes. You may be doing it with kind of like forced to do it. Or you may be doing it thinking I can get some praise if I do this. Or you may be almost like feeling, you do it begrudgingly. We shouldn't be like that. We should be submissive. We should be thankful, grateful for this opportunity to perform service. We came in, there was like 50 to 100 ladies all making garlands in that room there. Incredible to see. It's not much of a penance really, that's the beauty of Krishna consciousness. What we call penance is actually joyful, isn't it? Tushanti-cha, ramanti-cha is joyfully performed, isn't it? Of course, especially kirtan, prasadam, is joyful. And then do some service, clean the temple, just ask for service. Like that we can do some. And what else will we go? The Lord is more clever than any living entity. Therefore he wants to see how painstaking the devotee is in devotional service. The order is received from the Lord, either directly or through the bona fide spiritual master. Now we're coming on to the essence of penance. And to execute that order, however painstaking, is the severe type of penance. That's transcendental penance. It's not just mode of goodness, although it is pure goodness, due to suffering. To execute the order of the Lord, to execute the order of the spiritual master. That is penance. However painstaking it may be. You have so many examples in our movement of devotees undergoing this austerity, you could say, foregoing many things for the sake of executing the order of the spiritual master. Many of you have taken initiation. Many of you are waiting. We were just at the Govardhan Eco Village. Swami Maharaj, daily 150 or more devotees getting initiated. Any of you have been initiated there this time? This time, yes, just now. Just now. Oh, congratulations. So many devotees. And you make vows, right? That's a penance. To forego certain things, isn't it? Simple vows, even that's difficult for us. Maybe meat eating is not so difficult. But sometimes intoxication is difficult. No tea. No tea. No coffee. No biddy. Illicit sex, that's a topic we will not get into. But it's not easy controlling the sex urge. And many of these gambling is a broader subject that meets the eye. And no chocolate. We'll leave that for another day. I was speaking to Jayaleda Maharaj a few months ago. He's in Mumbai right now. And he's writing a book on the 4 regulated principles. I said, Maharaj, are you mentioning chocolate? He said, no. We'll leave that to others to discuss. You can eat it, but you can't offer it to Krishna. I know you're supposed to do that, I don't know. Maybe offer it to Lord Shiva or somebody. Think for yourself. Why do we eat chocolate? Why do you like to take this, and this? Why do we like to do it? You have to think. Do you need it? Is it to sustain your life? If it's a medical reason, you can justify. But in most cases, it's not. Why do we take? Why? I don't get on, I'm not going to get on your case, don't worry. Why do we eat something like chocolate? Why? Come on, simple.
Sweetness.
Pardon?
Building relationship.
Huh?
Build relationship, chocolate is there. Sweet and to build relationship.
A loving relationship with the cocoa, with the chocolate. Which rasa does it fall into? Is that the Madhura rasa? No, why do people take chocolate? I never you said taste. You like the taste. I think that's what you meant to say. You like the taste. Such a nice taste. Oh, yummy. Excuse me. That was an ecstatic symptom thinking about it. Taste. I can't think of any other reason. Honestly, I can't think of any other reason. Maybe there is. Huh?
Dopamine effect when you have chocolate.
Huh?
You get a dopamine effect when you have
You
chocolate.
get an effect?
Dopamine. Dopamine.
Dopamine?
The chemicals of happiness trigger.
Dopamine. Give me the dopamine. Isn't that amazing how things trigger it off? And that's what we want. Has it got anything to do with Krishna consciousness? Has it got anything to do with it? Not much. You can appreciate that everything comes from Krishna. Dopamine comes from Krishna also. Chocolate comes from Krishna. I'm sure Krishna likes chocolate. My spiritual master likes chocolate. That's pretty good. You may have an escape, but it's basically for sense gratification, so penance to reduce. We're not completely, freed from these tendencies. But as much as possible, we got to minimize. I mean, you've got children, you've got families, you have to use your common sense, but, we shouldn't be going more and more like that. The order, so we're following the order of the spiritual master. One who follows the principle rigidly is sure to achieve success in attaining the Lord's mercy. So our Prophet said, follow these 4 regulated principles, chant a minimum 16 rounds, and you can go back to Godhead in this life. Believe me, it's not as easy as it sounds. Sounds easy, but it's not that easy. Many different little things come in. I'll read a verse from the 3rd canto. I don't know if it's on there or not. 12:18. My dear son, better situate yourself in penance, which is auspicious for all living entities, and which will bring all benediction upon you. A penance which is auspicious for all living entities. Who can think of one? A penance which is beneficial for all living entities. Simple. Very simple. A penance that is beneficial for all living entities. Come on. Think of it. Harinam Sankirtan. Most auspicious. Benefits the whole universe. When devotees go on Harinam, or you're in your home chanting with your heart, or in the temple, wherever we are chanting Hare Krishna, everyone in the universe gets some benefit, be it very remote, but everyone gets some benefit. Distributing books, now definitely a penance from our side. For most people, India is probably a little bit less of a challenge, but still. In the West, going on the streets of these big cities, some of you probably been to Paris. How many of you been to Paris? Who's been to Paris? Hands up. Anybody been to Paris? 1 hand, 2, 3, 4. Oh my God, only 4 of you have been to Paris. What is this? Paradise. You're missing out. The Eiffel Tower. You can see the Eiffel Tower. The River Insane. River Insane. River Insane. Wonderful place. You should come.
Enjoying the high.
Enjoying the high now. Every day, almost every day, Harinam is going out. The holy name is being chanted in Paris. It's freezing cold or whatever it is. People are not keen on mercy there. What do they say when you're filling a book? Well, he's a Frenchman. What do you say?
No merci. No thank you.
Loud and clear.
No thank you. No
No, they say it in French. Say it in French.
No merci.
Non merci, monsieur. Non merci. No mercy, thank you. Go away. I don't want the mercy. It's kind of a language, it's like devotees are giving the mercy. Even they say still they giving out books, giving out prasadam, mass distribution prasadam, connecting someone with Krishna. It is our duty bound. Service to our spiritual master. This is his instruction that we try to spread the Krishna consciousness to others. Isn't it? And is it, when you do it, it's not so bad, right? Even just doing books, you're like, oh, nervous when you start. Once you get going, you meet somebody and it becomes really wow. You get a special mercy of the Lord. Special mercy. We'll read on. By penance only can one approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is within the heart of every living entity and at the same time beyond the reach of all senses. Isn't it amazing? The closest thing to us we can't see. The Lord is the closest. Let's put it in a personal way. The closest person to us. He's not only the closest person to us, he's in every atom. He's in every atom of our body. We don't think like that, do we? Krishna's in every atom of our body. He's everywhere. And we can't see him. He's beyond our mundane senses. It took Shri Krishna Namadina Bhavadvayam Indra. We can't see him with our material senses. So we have to put on penance. This penance purifies our vision. What is that penance? This penance is bhakti. Bhakti yoga. It's not some standing on your head, or not eating for a month, or whatever, growing your ears, this and that. No, it's simply devotion. By this penance one can see Krishna. One can return back home, back to God. Not that we can see him exactly, but Krishna reveals himself only through this penance. Bhaktimatma Vijanati Yavanyas Chasmitatpada, only through devotional service. Prabhupada gave a lecture on this verse and to coming a few snippets from it. Therefore, to get that freedom, you have to work for it. Freedom does not come so automatically. The moment we put ourselves out, as they surrender unto me, this is surrender. The more we give, the more Krishna reciprocates. Just like you are diseased, you are under the control of fever or some other painful condition, under some disease. So you have to undergo some penance. Just like you are suffering from some boil on the body. Very painful. In order to cure it, you have to undergo the surgical operation if you want to be cured. Therefore, tapasa. That is tapasa. Tapa means painful condition. Tapa. So for God realization, formerly people used to undergo severe types of penances. In the present moment, you're so fallen. We cannot tolerate these four principles. It's very difficult. We're imposing some tapasya that don't indulge in these things. No illicit sex, no intoxicate, no meeting, no gambling. For you, this may be quite easy. Born in Hindu family. People in the West, they're not familiar with these four principles. Very, very rare. Most pious Hindus are familiar at least with them. And that we should try not to do these things. Though we may do, but we try not to. Because you know they're irreligion. The West, they don't know. They have no idea. In fact, their main activity practically is sex, meat eating, intoxication, and varieties of gambling. That's their fun. One famous Lord Zetland in England asked one of Prabhupada's godbrothers, "Can you make me a Brahmin?" He said, "Yes. What do I have to do?" He said, "Follow these four principles." He said, "Impossible." Impossible. Prabhupada said when he came to the West, as soon as I mention these four items, they'll tell me, "Swamiji, go home. Go home." The Westerners, this is the 60th anniversary this year of ISKCON. ISKCON. Haribol. In July, Prabhupada formally incorporated the international societies. I'm sure you're having special programs this year for the 60th anniversary of ISKCON. 60 years later. So is it very difficult? These are the items of tapasya for advancing in Krishna consciousness. People don't think so. They think this is restraining people from enjoying their lives. This is a mind control, torture, taking away their independence. Items. These are actually the regulative principles of freedom that the Lord speaks in the Gita. If one cannot practice, go within the water up to the neck in chilly, pinching cold. If one can practice, go within the water up to the neck in chilly, pinching cold. Is it more difficult to give up illicit sex and meat eating and intoxication? We're not advising no sex. We're saying no illicit sex. So where's the difficulty? The age is so fallen, even these primary tapasya we can't execute. That is the difficulty. But if you want to realize God, as it is said here, tapasaiva, only by tapasya, only by penance one can realize. Otherwise not. It's not possible. Therefore this word is used, tapasaiva. Tapasaiva. Only by tapasya there is no other means. Tapasaiva param. Param means supreme. If you want to realize the supreme, the absolute, you must agree to a certain type of tapasya. Otherwise, it is not possible. To put any little tapasya, just like a kaddish, that is also one of the items of tapasya. Actually, on the Ekadashi day, we shall not take any food. See? Not even drink water. Dear, dear, what type of temple is this? But in our society, Prabhupada says, we are not doing so much strictly. Prabhupada is very merciful. We say Ekadashi, you do not eat food grains. Take a little fruit and milk. This is tapasya. So we cannot execute this tapasya. So if we're not prepared to undertake even this very, very easily executable tapasya, how can we expect to go back home, back to Godhead? No, that is not possible. How people work so blooming hard for their material reasons. They train day and night if they're sportsmen. Musicians training. They try to make the grade, achieve their gold medal in the Olympics. They work so hard to get it. But we're not willing to undergo any tapasya. Even in family life, you have to tolerate so much from the family members. The women, mothers have to tolerate the children. This is love there as well, obviously. So many times it's really painful. You have to tolerate your husbands. Right? Is that right, ladies? Yes or no? Be careful what you say. Your husband's probably here right now. Better not say anything. Just go like this. Yes, no. Yes, no.
Yes.
The husbands have to tolerate their wives. So much tolerance. When the spiritual Mahaprabhu said, but when the spiritual master asks you to do something, no. But you're not like that. You're all surrendered souls. But sometimes it's like that. Either means certainly. Not willing to execute the tapasya to go back to God, to bring all suffering to an end. Tapasya also means suffering. So, as Bobby's example, we take out a thorn with a thorn. We may use a needle or the same thing. You get it out with another thorn. But similarly, by tapasya, we can overcome tapasya or suffering by performing the right tapasya. Devotional service to Krishna can bring an end to all suffering. You have to, now executing this tapasya, penances. Are you a loser? You are not a loser. So tapasya is required. If we want advancement in spiritual life, we must accept some sort of tapasya. In the Kali Yuga, we cannot accept such severe type of tapasya. As in the cold, we go underneath into the water, sometimes drowning, sometimes up to this, and then meditate or chant. That is Hare Krishna. That is not possible. The minimum is that tapasya must be there. So we should know by this verse, some sort of tapasya must be done if we are serious about God realization. That is what. If you have got faith in God, Krishna, and similar faith in the spiritual master, follow his instruction, then you will understand Krishna, his different features. This is tapasya. Devi Parabhakti Devi does. And therefore now she has faith in the order of the spiritual master. the order of Krishna. Everything will be revealed. Krishna will reveal it. Faith means we execute it. It's not just philosophical acceptance, it's a practical execution. Devotional service is practical execution of the philosophy in our daily lives. The process is tapasya, little tapasya. So whatever little tapasya we have prescribed, you follow. You will understand Krishna. And if you understand Krishna, then your life is successful. That was in Dallas, 51 years ago. Now we're going to the second canto. These are the verses in the second canto which lead up to today's verse. Shukadeva Goswami is speaking. O King, the personality of Godhead, being very much pleased with Lord Brahma because of his non-deceptive penance, bhakti yoga. It was pure, it wasn't for anyone. Sometimes it said it's sakama, because he had a desire to create. He was born with a desire to create. That's his role. He was empowered. That was within his consciousness. As Krishna's potency within him to create. So he performed his tapasya, as you know, to create the universe. It was that his duty. So in one sense it's mixed. But he had no other motive. It wasn't, for any other purpose other than the execution of his duty. Because of his non-deceptive penance in Bhakti Yoga, presented his eternal and transcendental form before Brahma. But Krishna revealed himself before Brahma because of Brahma's falling. Fully, attentively, patiently, in other words, tapa also. We often, sometimes it means nurturing. It's a form of nurturing our bhakti. Sometimes the example is given of a bird, a chicken. Let's give a chicken. You all know what chickens are. They sit on the eggs. The mother chicken sits on the eggs a long time, patiently waiting for the egg to hatch. This is the most important part of the incubation period, whatever you call it. For the eggs to hatch, the mother's sitting on them. She doesn't break them. It's amazing. There's kind of amazing events going on. And this is also known as an example of tapasya. Sits there, mother. Many of you mothers are mothers, literally. The tapasya of pregnancy. Painful, especially childbirth. Very painful. For another purpose to have a child. You have to perform that tapasya, others it won't come. So if we want the birth of pure bhakti, we have to undergo tapasya. We have to be patient. According to me, this penance is the beauty and wealth of the Brahmins and the renounced order of life. According to Bhagavad philosophy, every human being is meant simply for this tapa and for no other business. Because by penance only can one realize the self and self-realization, not sense gratification. This is the business of human life. Kamasa, Nandriya, Pratyalabho, Jividya. It's not meant for sense gratification. It's meant for pleasing the personality of God. It's Samsiddhi Ravitoshna. That's the purpose of everything we do in life. To please the personality of Godhead. This is the relationship when it comes to tapasya. We're not thinking, let me do this so I can get something. We're thinking, let me do this for the pleasure of Krishna. We won't do it if it's not pleasing to Krishna, even if it's pleasing to us, or pleasing to our spiritual master. If it's not, we won't do it. It's a good yardstick, yardstick means a test. Think about it. At every moment, it's difficult to remember Krishna's with us, but you can at least think, my spiritual master is sitting right next to me. Would I do this? Would I say this? Would I eat this? Good yardstick. Test. To remember. He represents Krishna, so Krishna's sitting right next to you. It helps us to be a little more thoughtful, a little bit more mindful about what we do, a little about what we think. You know, in loving relationships, you're always thinking what will please the other person. It should be. You dress to please them, you cook to please them, smell to please them, talk to please them, walk to please them, act to please them, everything. This type of penance was begun from the very beginning of creation. It was first adopted by the Supreme Spiritual Master, Bhagavan. By tapasya only can one get the profit of human life, and not by a polished civilization, animal life. The animal does not know anything except sense gratification in the jurisdiction of eat, drink, be merry, and enjoy. But the human being is made to undergo tapasya for going back home, back to God. The objective has to be there too, not just the activity. The right objective. Not for show, not to achieve a material result, but to go back to Godhead, to become fully Krishna conscious. When Lord Brahma was perplexed about how to construct the material manifestations in the universe, and went down in the water to find out the means and the source of his lotus seed, he heard the word tapa, vibrated twice. Tapa, tapa. Taking the path of tapa is the second birth of the desiring disciple. Interesting. Initiation means tapa. Normally before initiations, the Purushacharya rites have to be undergone, and they include this tapa. Various types of tapa are there. Sometimes at initiation also. Branded, you get branded. We have tila. In the Sri Sampradaya you get branding, Veda branding. But some kind of austerity has to be there to prove that we're sincere. The word apostrophe not is very significant. It is similar to pranayana, or bringing the disciple nearer to the spiritual master for the path of tapa. So this initiation means the beginning. We've already started, but it's the real beginning. When our devotional service is meant to now be serious, very serious. So Brahmaji was thus initiated by Lord Krishna, and this fact is corroborated by Brahmaji himself in his book, the Brahma Samhita. In the Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma has sung in every verse, Govinda Mari Purusha, Dhammaham Bhajami. Thus Brahma was initiated into the Krishna mantra by Lord Krishna himself. And thus he became a Vaishnava, a devotee of the Lord, before he was able to construct a huge universe. It is stated in the Brahma Samhita that Lord Brahma was initiated into the 18-letter Krishna mantra, which is generally accepted by all devotees of Lord Krishna. This is the Gopal mantra. If you were Brahmin initiated, you know this mantra. King Krishnaya Govindaya Gopijana Balavaya Slavana is written in the books. Prabhupada has written them. It's not a secret in itself, it's a secret in a different way. The Gopal mantra is how our relationship with Krishna becomes solidified, becomes realized by absorption in this mantra. Hare Krishna mantra is the Maha mantra, contains all of other mantras, but still this initiations, Gayatri mantras are also extremely important if a devotee wants to progress on a spiritual path. We follow the same principle because we follow the Brahma Sampradaya, directly in the disciplic chain from Brahma to Narada, Narada to Vyasa, Vyasa to Madhu, and so on. gradually to His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, our Divine Master. One who is thus initiated in the disciple succession is able to achieve the same result or power of creation. Chanting of the holy mantra is the only shelter of the desireless, pure devotee of the Lord. Simply by such tapasya or penance, the devotee of the Lord achieves all perfections like Lord Brahma. Okay, well, I have a lot more to read, but I think your time is out. And now you have to perform a very, very important tapasya. The most difficult tapasya of all. Oh no. Oh no. Pusha. When I first went to the temple in London, September 1971, I thought I'd never seen a devotee before. I got the address in the magazine. I thought they were yogis. My idea of yogis was like what we mentioned earlier. They don't eat. They don't sleep. They're just meditating all day. That's what I thought. I soon had all my illusions smashed. In one day. Not even one day, in 5 minutes. Actually, I wanted to go to the toilet when I arrived at the temple. I was toying, debating in my mind whether to go and look for a toilet in London or to knock on the door and try to go in. I decided to knock. Because I was thinking, they don't eat, they don't drink, they probably don't have toilets. I was thinking like that. But anyway, I took my chances. I knocked on the door. And then they invited, many of you know Mandakini from France. Ladies, you know Mandakini? She comes here sometimes. She's the first devotee I ever saw. First devotee, she was in London. She joined the year before. First devotee I ever met in this lifetime. And she, as I was about to knock, she opened the door. She was coming out and I was going in. But then she took me downstairs. She said, oh, I can't. With my voice I can't imitate. French language, you have to have kind of a bit of a high pitch. Oh, you're getting at the right time. It is Prashadam time. Prashadam time. I can't get there. Oh, what? Prasadam, prasadam. What is this? Never heard the word before. Come. She took me down to the basement of the temple in Bury Place, which we just purchased a few months ago, back in ISKCON. And I had the shock of my life. I couldn't believe my eyes. There was a little room, very small, maybe 10, 12, 15 devotees sat there with plates. And I didn't know what type of yoga this was. The plates were like little mountains. Stacked with rice, like, 2 kilos of rice at least. And then on top was a stack of chapatis. Big stack of chapatis. There's a Kadashi, so you have to excuse me. And each one of them had this ball. I remember those balls, I can remember what they look like to this day. Round stainless steel balls. 1 liter full of dal. 1 liter balls full of dal. That was just the first course. First service, not course, first serving. And I thought, my God, what is this? This devotee, his name's Sananda Kumar, was serving the prasadam. He saw me come into the room. These big eyes, he was from Hawaii. He joined the Siddha Sripananda. These big eyes, beaming round face, holding this massive plate with this mountain of rice on it. Whoosh! It just like floated into my hands. Boom! Stack of chapatis. Bowl of dal. Please sit down. It's lunchtime. I sat down. Oh my God, I've never eaten like this in my life. Is this yoga? What's going on? Did I get the right address? Maybe I got the wrong address. And the funniest thing was when they came round and served more. That was just first. I couldn't believe how the devotees were taking seconds and thirds. I couldn't handle it. There's so much prasadam. And then as soon as we finished, I felt like collapsing. I was about to collapse. Then one devotee's name was Swayambur. You don't know him from Australia. He was there, he was, Sankirtan, Sankirtan. He came up to me. Hey, would you like to come on Sankirtan? I said, what? Sankirtan. Another word I'd never heard in my life. I said, what's that? He said, it's just bliss, nectar, bliss. So we just tried it. And I didn't have much choice. Everyone just got out and just flowed out of the door. There we were, 15 of us flowing down Oxford Street. I had long hair down to my waist. On the back of the queue. I won't tell that story. But at 4 o'clock I decided, I'm going to go. I'm going to leave. I hadn't joined, but I was going to leave the Harinam. I went back to the temple to collect my coat. Luckily it was still there. That was not usually the case in those days. I went back to the temple. When I got back, the Pujari was there. Oh, Leader Sharti. Oh, you come back early. I've got to go home. Got to go back to my home, a long way away. Home? Well, before you go, just come downstairs. I had to go down. The coat was down there anyway. So I went down the stairs. And then she came with a big plate of fruit. Fruit offering, 4:15. Fruit offering. I like fruit. So I took a little fruit. My mouth was watering. Oh God, what's going on now? Oh no, I started tingling. They put some LSD into this fruit. I started feeling ecstatic symptoms. I know what LSD was very, very, very well. I thought, God, no way. No, I understand why they're so happy. They put drugs in this food. I started tingling. Oh God, jeez. Sweating and tingling. Just an apple and a banana and a pear. I was tingling. I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. I went up the stairs. Down the stairs came the temple president. I didn't know he was a temple president. Dayananda Prabhu came down the stairs. Said, oh, please, can you help me? I didn't know what to say. Just about to go. Said, oh, please, can you stay a little longer and help? I said, what do you want? I said, I need to pack some incense. We have to ship it out to shops. I said, okay. So I went upstairs packing incense for 1.5 hours. Hour and a half. Packing incense into packets. 6 o'clock. I've got to go. I went downstairs. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, boom, 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 boom. Ding, 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 ding. Krishna Krishna, And he had the doors thrown open in front of me. There was the Harinam party returning. Ah, there you are. We wonder where you were. Come now, we're going downstairs. Boom, they took me down to the basement. Pushed down. It's prashadam time. And it was leftover rice dal and chapatis. Just like lunch, almost as much in quantity. Fill it up again to the brim. I've got to go. I can't keep doing this. I die. Went upstairs. Oh, where are you going? I've got to go home. Have you seen the deities? I said, what are deities? Never heard the word. Deities. Come, in the temple. Temple. You have a temple. Oh, yes. Never told me they had a temple. Well, their temple was downstairs in the basement. This is their Ishtadev. Play Prashadam, that's their Ishtadev. They just worship Prashadam day and night, you know. So he led me into the Prashadam, into the temple room. And as I described him, Surya Shamsundar Prabhu, you know him well, he comes here. He built a temple like an upturned boat, all this red wood up, you know, beautiful work he did. It was really weird. Anyway, I went in there and waited. So what's going on? So we're offering the boga. In other words, I never heard of boga. What's this boga? The curtains will open in a while. And suddenly, I sat there for about 15 minutes, 10 minutes. The curtains suddenly opened. I'd never seen anything like it in my life. Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. I was convinced. They put LSD in the another hallucinations. Some kind of hallucination here. What is this? They're sitting up there on top of a platform, you know. There's a black one with these big eyes. And then the little yellow one and the white one. Yeah, big eyes and strange. Their faces were strange shapes and sizes. And then, I don't know if it arms or whatever, those little things that were jutting out. They didn't have, they used to dress them in those days so you could see the whole torso. There's no legs and it was just like, what is it? Is this a voodoo worship or something? Something from Africa or something? What is it? And then I saw Radha Londonishwar, of course, like your deities here, Radha Gopinath. And a little bit easier to kind of visualize and relate with, I suppose. But for that moment, Jagannath always captured my heart. Something about Jagannath. He's amazing. It's like so far from people's understanding of God, isn't it? This is God. You say to someone, what's that up on the platform? God. That's God. God. They call that think you're crazy. They don't understand. Someone, maybe because of the prashadam, I didn't become like, doubtful or anything. I just didn't know what it was. So then anyway, then they started the arti. You've been to arti, And suddenly, boom, 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 ching, 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 ching. Boom, 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 bouncing up and down. Someone comes at you with a flame, shing, in front of my face. They're trying to burn me or something. And a few minutes later, throwing water at me. They're trying to put the flames out. And they stuff a flower up your nose. They blow these things. No one explained a thing. It was like, what on earth's going on here? Everyone boom on the floor. Everyone flat out on the floor. And I said, I've got to go. I've got have to go. I said, but now is Bhagavad Gita class. I actually came primarily to buy a Bhagavad Gita. They didn't have one, by the way, they had no stock. But I listened, I said, okay, Bhagavad Gita, I'd like to hear it. So I stayed and listened to the class. Then I said, I gotta go. They'd just stay a little longer. We're having song class. Stay till 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, I said, I gotta go. Just stay a little longer. Archie again. Stay another 15 minutes. 9:15. Said, I gotta go. I got a train to catch. Last train at 10 o'clock. I said, just stay a little longer. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. It's the basement again. Oh yeah. Come down to the basement. It's Prashadam time. But now I'm starting to understand at least what Prashadam meant. But the only thing I learned that day was what Prashadam was. We went down the stairs, and it was quite unique because they used to save the Prashadam for the guests. Mahaprasad, it wasn't like lunch, dinner. It was Maha. And Mahaprasad, as you know, very special. All the are special. So it wasn't like ISKCON Chowpatty, which is also very special. But there were puris, hot brown puris. There was hot halava. There were samosas, tomato chutney, laddus, and maybe a few other sabjis. And then they started serving me this Mahaprasad. And that was it. I was finished. Completely defeated. My ideas in the material world were completely destroyed. I just couldn't believe this halava, puris, out of this world. I was relieved. I'm glad I stayed. So we won't have time to read, but you can read it yourself. Second canto, chapter 9, Lord Brahma's penances, devotional service. And this real penance is accepting that instruction of the spiritual master and making our life and soul. Making our life and soul. That's the penance. Hare Krishna. Listen, loudly chanting the holy names. Loudly chant the holy name. Get everyone chanting. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
One more time.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
I'm almost dumb. Now I can become deaf. Then I can live an easygoing life. Don't have to do anything. I can just eat and sleep and relax on the beach. Chowpatty.